redefine diet and exercise. Most of us think about starving ourselves and restricting what we eat when we hear the word diet. And exercise has a bad connotation too. It's sweating at a gym and aching and not liking trying to move that hard. Would you like to know how to get healthy by focusing on something other than diet and exercise? Well, you can. Here's how to do it. You redefine diet and exercise. Now, forget your body for a second. Drop the idea that health has to do with your muscles and bones and joints and tendons. There's another way to be healthy without thinking about diet and exercise. There are two other equally important components of your life which will determine whether or not you're healthy. It's your mental health and your spiritual health. That's 2/3 of your overall health. So if you want to be well, you need to take care of all three. But let's just put the whole physical aside and let's talk about mental health and spiritual health. So you can just stop thinking about what you eat and how much you move. Let's first talk about your mental health. What are you snacking on? What are you eating? What are you feeding your mind? Are you snacking on the bad news of the day? Are you having peaceful conversations or inspiring thoughts? The conversations you're having with other people, are they making you healthy or are they making you sick? It's important to pay at least as much attention to what your mind is ingesting as what your body is. Be very careful to stay away from the words and thoughts that lead you to negative conclusions or are toxic or discourage you. Those thoughts and words actually change your brain chemistry. And when you have stressful situations that you're not handling and bad relationships, that wears on your mental health. To strengthen your mental health, you need to eat the right things. One thing that I do is I think about what I do have instead of what I don't have. I feed myself what I have done versus what I haven't done. Because my tendency is to think about what went wrong or what I didn't get done. I'm hard on myself and I push myself to get a lot done. So what I'm feeding myself at the end of each day is what I did get done and not what I didn't get done. Regardless of what happened, the thought of, oh, I didn't get this done, that is negative and that doesn't improve my mental health and that makes the next day harder. But if I focus on what I did get done, that helps me to start the new day with some enthusiasm. So it's what I'm feeding my mind. Now, another strategy to improve my mental health and what I want to feed my mind is to hang out with positive people. Now, I don't mean rose-colored glasses kind of people or people who deny what's going on. But people who are having fun with their life, who are living their dreams and pursuing their passions. Their strong mental health rubs off on me and it improves my own. So how are you taking care of your mental health? What are you consuming? What habits are you practicing? Think about your mental health diet and exercise. Now, focusing on those, that's a surefire way to heal and strengthen and be mentally healthy. Then let's talk about your spiritual health. What is your spirit dining on? Is it skepticism? Is it hopelessness? Or is it possibilities? How are you giving and receiving love? How are you dealing with conflict? How are you operating within your community? It's good to take stock in what you're feeding your spirit. Now, again, my tendency is to look at what's wrong, so I have to prevent my spirit from going to those places. One thing I do is I pray. I pray and it calms my spirit, and I think about God. I think about what I'm hopeful for. I think about what I'm grateful for. That helps feed my spirit the good food. Another thing I do is volunteer or hang out with generous people. Again, what they're doing, it rubs off on me. And because my spirit can easily go to the negative or easily go to the pessimistic or skeptical, I need to be intentional about doing those things to feed my spirit. One way I exercise my spirit is to do self-reflection. So I ask myself, if I'm bothered by something, I'll ask myself, what am I bothered by? And I go beyond blaming someone else or feeling like I'm a victim. This sometimes is hard work, but it's a way I exercise my spirit to get at what's bothering me. And then I can be free from it. And the other one I mentioned is to practice gratitude. I often just stop myself and just purposely think in my mind about 3 things I'm grateful for, because there are many things to be grateful for at any moment. But unless I intentionally look at them and think about them, it's missing me, and then my spirit is weak. So what activities will heal and strengthen your mind and spirit? What's the proper diet for your mind and your heart? What are some ways you can exercise your mental health and your spiritual health? Just simply thinking about this stuff and being intentional about just understanding what it is, it's a huge step towards health. And then putting it into action, which is free, by the way, and it just takes your time. That's a huge leap towards your overall health. We often think, oh, it's spring and I'm going to lose weight and look good in my bathing suit or whatever. Well, yes, it's spring and it's a great time to start something new. So I'm just challenging you to look at, what is your mental health diet and what is your spiritual health diet? Pay attention to those. What spiritual health exercises are you doing? What mental health exercises are you doing? Expand your definition of what health is. Have it include all 3. No doubt COVID has brought you to a place where you realize more about relationships, what you miss. You realize your work life, how that goes, and what inspires you. We've all had just a shaking up through COVID. So use that as the springboard to improve 2/3 of your life, your mental health and your spiritual health. We can work on the physical later. Redefine diet and exercise. Be well, my friends.